What's up, friends? Welcome back. Today we're taking a page out of TJ Hunt's book and we're using the top of this weird parking garage. We're gonna do a 5,000 mile owner review on my 2016 WRX STI. And we're just gonna talk about kind of how the exterior is holding up, interior is holding up, how I still like the drivability, and maybe answer some questions you guys might have regarding whether you should upgrade from a 2012 or that gen WRX into this gen WRX/STI. All right, let's take a look and let's get to it. So this is my 2016 WRX STI. It is ice silver. It's the base model STI. As you can see, there is no sunroof. So basically this is the base model. It has the only package, I guess, that you can get, which is the nav system, keyless access, plus the Harman Kardon sound system. That's exactly the spec I wanted. I'm a tall guy, so basically the sunroof was not really on my go-to, but I did really want the keyless access. I know it's kind of stupid, but it makes it, just makes the car feel a little bit more upscale. Exterior wise, I love the car so far. The color is great. I wasn't totally sold on the silver, but the silver is actually a really good color in the sunlight. It almost has like a little bit of blue to it. I don't know if that's like whatever the metal flake that Subaru put in it, but there's a tiny bit of blueness to the silver, which just gives it a little bit more legit feel, as opposed to some silvers can just be like super plain, if you know what I'm saying. Exterior wise, I really love the basically base model STI wheels. I love the dark contrast with the lighter color. I think my last car was a black WRX, and I think on the WRXs / any of the more modern performance cars, the more scoops and everything else that they put on the cars, I think when you get a black car, it doesn't really make things like these fog housings and the scoop and everything. It doesn't make all that stand out quite as much, which if that's what you're into, that's cool, but I just kind of liked, it makes it look a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, on the exterior, the wing I was not 100% sure on when I first bought it, and now I actually really like it. It does get some attention here and there, good and bad, but it's grown on me a lot. It's very STI, it's very rally car, so it's something that I think I'm going to keep. A lot of people want to keep trading me trunks, but I think I'm going to keep it for now. The only mods I've done so far, exterior wise, has been basically the Rally Armor mud flaps. We installed those recently to kind of keep the paint a little bit more protected. I did also install these are the light smoke taillight overlays. I think it looks pretty good. Just kind of makes the rear end look a little bit more aggressive. And then I've also done if you've seen the video, maybe or maybe not, check it out if you have not. I did the tuck for the exhaust. The exhaust, this is the SPT exhaust. It hangs really low if you're just getting it from Subaru. So I found a way to kind of tuck the exhaust up a little bit and make it look a little bit more normal. So far, if you want an update on that, so far so good. No plastic melting, no rubbing issues, still good to go. The only defects or complaints I have about the exterior is kind of the same with all Subarus. The paint is not the greatest. It looks good, but it does things like this car is not that old and there's already a little paint chip here. Some of these are just kind of like bugs and stuff. I should have washed this thing better, but it's already a paint chip. It's pretty common if you're used to the Subaru stuff, but otherwise exterior, no issues. Haven't had any problems. Still love the look. And yeah. Oh, I also did, one of the other mods that I've done was also the tint. So this is, if you're interested in seeing kind of what tint looks like, this is 35% in the back, 50% in the front. And yeah, that's the legal limit in Virginia. So I think it turned out pretty well. Overall, the quality in the interior is great. This car has the navigation system. This is the Starlink setup. It's pretty responsive. I don't want to turn on the audio because I don't want to get copyright infringement and stuff. It's pretty responsive. I have had some issues with it though, I'll be honest. It has locked up 3 or 4 times in the time that I've owned it, and by locked up I mean like legit locked up. It would not respond to anything. If you look, there's hard buttons here for volume and tuning and stuff. I couldn't even turn it off using the volume button. I literally had to, at a stoplight, turn the car off and turn it back on to get it to respond to anything. Volume up and down, changing station, off and on, all of that. So I haven't taken it back to Subaru for that. Hasn't done it quite often enough that it's been an issue, and a quick reset has put it back to normal. So haven't fixed that yet, but it doesn't seem to be an issue all the time. Maybe there's a software update for it. If somebody's heard for it, please let me know. Otherwise, on the interior, the quality of the materials are good. The dash is very like rubbery. The steering wheel is great. I love the perforated leather here. It's held up pretty well. These are the cloth seats, or no, sorry, not cloth seat, Alcantara centers with the leather on the side. The seats and materials are holding up great. Door panels, obviously, not a whole lot of use. The Harman Kardon sound system is decent. It's pretty good. It's definitely better than my last car, but it's not the best stereo system I've ever heard. I'm still super happy with not having a sunroof. Headroom in here, me sitting here, I have like a couple inches. I could definitely autocross this with a helmet on or whatever and not have any problems. Faux carbon fiber, still digging it. Looks kind of like carbon fiber. It's close enough for me. Gauge cluster is great. Little like boost gauge up here is awesome. Glad Subaru threw that in. I got the rubber floor mats basically to help keep dirt and snow and everything else out of here. But yeah, back room is great. I got a little baby Recaro racing seat back there. Fits great. My kid loves it. Interior cabin quality is the same as always. A lot of road noise. The exhaust does sound good. But yeah, overall, super happy with the interior. No real complaints. My only real complaints were the the AC heating system had a horrible noise when I first bought it. Basically, like sitting at low fan speeds, it was like really irritating. This like weird, like crickety sounding noise. And I put a panel underneath the glove box here. It's a Crosstrek part. If you watch my video, it explains all about it. Now sold on SubiSpeed, so check that out, which is pretty cool because it's a fix that I don't know, I feel like this channel helped make popular. So cuts out basically like a piece of plastic with some foam on it, cuts out that noise. If you're interested in that, do that. Also got a video on replacing the auto dim mirror. I put an auto dim mirror in here. It came with the standard one. But overall, headliner is kind of like a weird crappy material, but I don't touch it very often, so it doesn't really bother me. And besides that, it's been, you know, pretty normal in here. Nothing too crazy. Just a decent interior. Love the seats. Yeah, nothing really noteworthy. Just a standard STI interior. I'm sitting in the back. You're probably curious, just to show you. I'm 6'5". If I sit back here, my head is just touching. My knees are definitely touching the seats in front of me, but if I slouch down a little bit, it's actually pretty impressive that somebody my size can sit behind somebody my size and still be reasonably comfortable. I'm not going to say that I would love to be back here for hours, but just to drive to a store or whatever, go get lunch, you know, with the coworkers, etc. It's not bad actually. You know, I don't think I'd have a problem. This car does have the STI performance exhaust. I do not regret getting it. After I tucked it with the little mod I did, it's been basically aesthetically and audibly great. It's a little bit loud on cold start, but I like it. And you know, driving around, it's got, obviously you got road noise in the car, but the exhaust you can definitely hear. You definitely know it's there. The rumble's nice. So I'll throw a few shots in if you're interested in hearing what it sounds like. And yeah, I would buy the exhaust again if I had the choice. Make sense? All right, let's hear it. So the drivability of this car, I drive it every day. I still love it. Every day when I get up and go out to the garage, I look at the car and go, I'm excited to drive that. When I come out of work, I'm still happy to see it sitting in the lot, and I'm still pumped to drive it home. I do live in the DC area, so I do sit in traffic here and there, but I try to take a lot of, random back roads to kind of avoid the highways and avoid some of the traffic. That's means that they're not always in the best shape. I think the suspension, is definitely stiffer. This chassis is definitely stiffer than the previous one. It's good and bad. It's definitely, stiffer for some of the crappier roads, but once you get on like a nice, good road that you want to carve up, it's pretty amazing. I don't know, it just feels like a lot more solid than the previous car. Part of that, I had a WRX before. This is an STI, so the better brakes, obviously, the better suspension. I have a 6-speed now. I had a 5-speed before. All of that has been a little bit of an adjustment, but mostly a welcome adjustment. Some of my biggest gripes about the last car, the brakes were shitty. I was not crazy about kind of like major body roll and stuff it had. Some of the things I loved the engine and the exhaust note. I didn't really have any like grand aspirations for 35-40 miles per gallon, so having the FA motor didn't mean a ton to me. I get that it's super efficient compared to this, and it's kind of like modern technology where this is old and not cool anymore. I don't know. I feel like a couple years ago, everybody still loved this engine. I get it. Subaru hasn't pushed a new one out, and the new one's probably going to be awesome. But I have no regrets with buying this Gen STI with the old engine. I think it's like a perfect blend of what I loved about the last cars, which was the engine, the exhaust note, kind of the drama, how the EJ provides power, and basically everything that I didn't like about the last one, this one improved. Honestly, I did like the hatch. This is sedan, obviously, but the brakes, the suspension, the body roll, just the chassis stiffness, this car feels a lot more race car than the previous one to me. It's a lot more stable. I feel a lot more confident driving this one than I did the last one. And again, WRX up to the STI, so there's some differences there, but overall, this car is great. I daily drive it. I have no problems with the suspension. I have no problems with the exhaust or road noise. It's a car that, like, sure, my mom is not going to want to drive this car every day. Honestly, my wife's not going to want to drive this car every day. But if you're into cars, you like cars, you appreciate things that cars provide you that are fun, exhaust, suspension, brakes, all that stuff, it's super easy to live with. It's not like you're driving a race car that's only legal on the street because Subaru made it that way. Like, no, it's comfortable enough, suspension stiff, but it's not going to rattle your bones out the side of the window. The road noise is kind of bad, yes, okay, but again, it's a driver's car. It's kind of why I like these things. WRX's STIs, I feel like, are the cars that like 99% of people, I would maybe even go 99.9, but basically, if you see somebody driving a WRX or an STI, they're an enthusiast. And I think that's what I love about them more so, is like, yes, people buy M3s that are not enthusiasts. People buy M3s because it has that little blue and white logo on it and the little M3 badge, and people think like, that's the car that you buy when you make it. Sure, there are definitely enthusiasts driving M3s, and maybe 80% of people driving M3s are enthusiasts, but you can run into quite a few that are not. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the WRX, for some reason, and maybe you can go BRZ, FRS. I don't really know a whole lot about those crowd. Maybe you can go with them too. 99% of them are enthusiasts. You see them, they wave. You stop at a gas station, they talk to you. You go to a meet, you talk to you. It's all, everybody driving them loves cars, and loves cars to the point where, like, they're okay to deal with like some of the little idiosyncrasies, the kind of like weirdness to these cars. It's just character. I love it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you have other questions that I didn't cover, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. If you're new, please subscribe, please like and say hello, whatever. I basically comment and reply to everybody. So I don't know if I have a bunch extra to add. The car's great. I love it. I have no regrets with getting this one over the WRX in this same model, generation, whatever you want to call it. It's a great car. I have nothing against it, but I have literally zero regrets with getting the STI. If a new STI comes out next year, still not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go buy that one. I mean, maybe if it gets to like 500 horsepower or something ridiculous, then I might have to. But probably not. I'm going to stick with this one. Like I said, I love the old and new combination. It kind of like made the perfect STI for me. So that's all I got, dudes. I'm glad you watched. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for all the support and all the other fun stuff. And we'll get more cool videos coming for all you BMW people. I got some M3 stuff coming. I promise. Parts are in, so we'll get to that in the garage as well. All right. Good seeing you. See you next time. Bye bye.